All right, guys, you've got a 2007 Big Dog Bulldog electronic fuel injection Pro Street Softail chopper motorcycle for sale. This bike currently has 8,676 very well cared for miles. Now, this particular bike is equipped with the gloss black base paint job, and it's extremely classy. Now, in 2007, Big Dog equipped these bikes with the extremely powerful 1,916 cc, 117 cubic inch electronic fuel injected SNS V twin motor. You've got a 6-speed Baker transmission, a right side balance drive. You've got PM disc brakes and PM polished billet wheels. Up front, you've got a 21-inch rim. In the rear, you've got an 18-inch rim with a gigantic 300mm tire. Definitely gives the bike that classic Pro Street chopper look. Now, this bike does have a couple different additions. First off, you've got the sissy bar ready struts, which what that will allow you to do is to add a sissy bar extremely easily. You just pop them in those mounting holes. Sissy bar will allow you to bring some gear along with you, also facilitate a passenger as a backrest, so on and so forth. So definitely a nice thing to have. You have rear passenger pegs, which again will allow you to facilitate that passenger. You have the Vance & Hines big radius exhaust. Definitely looks nice and sounds even better. Now, this bike has been rewired. I believe it's the Wires Plus kit. So that has eliminated the factory electronic harness controller. So it's definitely a nice addition to have, so you shouldn't have any electrical issues down the road. This bike also has the diamond cut jugs, just right there. Definitely a nice addition as well. You got the chin spoiler, which is unique to the Bulldog. And then you've also got the inverted forks, which is also unique to the Bulldog. This is supposed to be more of a touring bike than some of the other lineup within the Big Dog brand. Now, the bike is in good condition, but it is 10 years old and does have 8,000 miles on it. I'm going to give it a rating of a 9.0 out of a 10. Overall in decent shape, but it does have some minor cosmetic issues, so we'll go through and point those all out. Rear Avon tire is wearing uneven. When I purchased the bike from the previous owner, he mentioned that they didn't have a tire balancing machine when they installed this tire, and so that's why it is wearing on that left side. I am having a new Avon tire installed this week, but just wanted to give you a heads up there. Rear fender has a couple minor blemishes. There's a clear bra film on top of this, so it kind of amplifies the minor blemishes. You've got a scratch right there that has been touched up with paint. Just want to point that out. It looks like we've got a couple different rock chips, but some of them I believe are bubbles in the clear bra, but I want to point out as much as possible. Polished billet is in fair shape. It could use some elbow grease to look better, but overall it's not too bad. You've got some minor blemishing on here, but I think if you put a couple hours with some polish, I think it would definitely look quite a bit better. Rupali is very similar as far as condition on the polished billet. Sissy bar struts are in good shape. You've got some, it looks like these bolts have been replaced because they're not a chrome bolt, but they do have a little bit of oxidation. It looks like the pipe probably got some moisture on it and wasn't wiped off immediately, so something to point that out. You've got some blemishing here down on the frame. Looks like something's gouged the frame a little bit. Vance & Hines pipes are in decent shape, but again, they do have a little bit of wear and tear, some minor surface scratching. Nothing too crazy, but definitely not brand new. We've got a little bit of rust oxidation within the swing arm bolt right there. Rear passenger pegs are actually a chrome peg, and they've got a little bit of minor pitting in there. So I want to point that out. Big Dog solo seat is in good shape. No major blemishes that I can point out. Gas tank is in fair shape as well. You do have some light surface scratching, but nothing too crazy. You've got a little bit of bubbling on the gas tank gas lid around that area. So I don't know if it's missing like a little piece to go around there, but want to point that out. Motor's in good shape, no major blemishes to point out there, with the exception of some minor surface scratches. You might have a little tiny bit of some oxidation on those engine bolt heads. The air cleaner has some minor pits on the top here, and I'm going to look around my shop to see if I have another one of these that I can put on. But just want to point that out. Shouldn't be too difficult to replace that piece. Polish built on the front. Forward control pegs are actually in pretty decent shape. You've got a little bit of oxidation, but nothing too crazy. And I again think that will polish out pretty nicely. Handlebars are in good shape. The grips are in decent shape as well. No major blemishes to point out there. The speedometer is in good shape. It is missing the little grommet piece here to push to change between the odometer and trip meter. Just want to point that out. Down tubes of the frame are in decent shape. You do have some minor light rock chips, not a ton on the frame. You've got more on that chin spoiler. It's just a tough placement to not have that happen with it just being behind that front wheel. It's going to happen. So you're going to, I mean, at some point you could pull that off and have it resprayed, and that would look better. Probably something I'd suggest doing is putting a clear bra material on that as well. Front fender's in fair shape. You do have some light rock chips throughout the fender. Nothing crazy, but the bike has been ridden. Not in terrible shape, but it's not a show bike, and so that's why I'm trying to point out all these things on the bike, all the aspects of the motorcycle. So polish built on the front wheels in decent shape. Actually no major blemishes here, and I think with some elbow grease you could get it looking like new. Front Avon tire has less than 750 miles, so I'm going to rate that it has 75% tread remaining. Has definitely been replaced sooner than the rear tire. Polish billet on the side of the wheel is in decent shape. You've got some pitting chrome on the brake rotor here. That wouldn't be too difficult to pull that piece off and have it re-chromed. But definitely want to point out everything on the motorcycle that I possibly can. Front forks are in decent shape. Headlights in decent shape. You might have a couple little indentation, maybe a couple light pit marks here. I don't know if you can see that. So you've got a little bit of a scuff here. I just want to point that out as well in the gas tank. Motor on the side's in fair shape. Could use a little bit of elbow grease on the polish billet, but should polish up nicely. Front rider forward controls on this side are about the same as the other side. Could use a little bit of elbow grease, but should polish up nicely. Primary's in fair shape. Look like they've been replaced as well because they're not a chrome polish bullet. Bolt there. So rear passenger peg on the side, you've got a little bit of pitting chrome. License plate holder has a few little gouges on the top, nothing too crazy bad. But again, just want to point out as much as I can. Swing arm has a few light nicks. Polish billet on the rear wheel is actually in pretty fair shape. Should polish up nicely. That rear brake rotor is the same as the front, not as bad, but it does have some pitting chrome, so those should probably be replaced at some time or be pulled off the bike and re-chromed, but definitely not anything too crazy bad to have done. So bottom of the frame does have some light scuffs, some scuff marks just from being so low to the ground. These bikes are very common to scrape at some time and point just because they sit so low to the ground. All right, let's go ahead and fire up the bike for you. have it. Definitely shows the bike runs extremely well. Rides even better. Definitely a blast to ride. The bike functions as it should. If you guys do have any additional questions or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to either shoot me an email or give me a phone call. You can contact me at my direct line, which is 801-564-0629. Again, that's 801-564-0629. Another great way to track our inventory is to subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also hop over to our direct website, which is www.utahchopper.com. I most definitely appreciate your time, and also look forward to the possibility of working with you. Thank you very much.